Welcome, everyone, to Austin by Starlight, episode 18. Last we left off, some of our coterie mates had some personal time with some of their family, others were meeting new friends, and, well, in the mix of all of it, it's turned out to be a little less lucrative than a certain new friend had actually wanted. They met the charismatic little thief who I believe went by a different name, but her real name is Lupe. And upon meeting some of the other coterie mates, has decided to kind of tag along with them for the time being. And so we start a new night. The sort of necessity of some things coming up has them collecting together once more, so I would like everyone to make rouse checks for me.
I would assume I'm included in that ST.
Yes, you are. Everyone gets a little hungrier. That little pit in the bottom of your stomach that fuels you, that sort of little nagging voice that starts off as, I could use a snack, starting to turn into more of, snack please, eat, now, gets more demanding as time goes on, as resources are spent, the need to consume blood, the life force of mortals, growing ever stronger every night, should one not do anything to quell such a hunger. Who's at hunger 3 or more today?
I am.
I am
Ooh.
as well.
Ooh.
I am not.
Oh, good. Well, good. We shall have to see how these things turned out, but Alistair and Lupe definitely feeling a little testy. Could definitely go for a bite. Quite literally. But first things first is to gather up with the other members of your coterie and the other new friends that you've been making. The Pax has called in La Muerta and let her know that they would be meeting up today at the coterie house, and that she's strongly urging that things not get all messed up when it comes to the Baron. And Lupe, since you've been here before, you decide to drop by, I'm sure.
That is correct. Though I'm hoping tonight it'll be a little less busy. Or rather, less strenuous. The other night I put in a lot of effort just to get everything rounded up so that I had a reasonable night. A shower, a bed. Provided I did have to sleep in the motel's bathroom. But protection is protection.
And waking up this evening has a little bit of that sort of hunger stiffness that you know all too well. It takes extra effort to kind of loosen your body to a movable fashion. Getting cramped up in the shower is not exactly ideal.
Precisely. You know, you would think, since you're dead and all that you wouldn't have to actually, deal with the You know, the morning cramps and creaking of your bones and stiffness in your legs. Unfortunately, it just comes with the hunger. The rigor mortis seems to set in. I can feel myself getting closer to me Nana. More close than I really want to. Nana. I wonder what kind of antiques I can pull from her storage this time. Still, I have every intention to go meet up with the courier back at the house. See what's new. This crew, this group. Coterie. I don't know anything about what that's like. I've been, well, alone. Since I died. Since that night. And I'm kind of learning a bit more of the ins and outs of things. As far as being closer to others of my kind are. It's anxiety-inducing, but I'm trying to show that I'm tough enough for them. I can handle my own. I don't think I could get in a fight with any of them, to be perfectly honest, but for that all the reason, I want to stay on the good side. So let's see what good sides I can get to.
Perfect. And thus, here we are. Does anyone feed before they come to the coterie house, or is everybody kind of doing that the first thing?
Absolutely. I will end up taking the opportunity to end up feeding. I oftentimes find myself feeding with coterie members distasteful. Mostly as it is best to not end up showcasing one's preferred taste. Probably one of the few things my sire and I agree upon.
All right. So Yvette's going to be feeding. Are Alistair and Lupe going to be feeding before showing up?
Well, he probably would go in for his appointments and try to feed on some of the students before meeting up with everybody a little bit later.
Okay.
I'm also gonna do a little bit of feeding because I did get permission from PAX to do so on the domain.
Okay. So everybody's going to do a little bit of individual feeding. So we're going to kind of boil this down to roles, unless something interesting happens.
Whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
Preferably. I do have one hot dot of hurt I would like to utilize for tonight.
Are you at Hunger 3?
I am indeed.
Okay. Then you do not have to make a frenzy check. You can safely feed from your herd.
Okay. How many dots does one dot of hurt usually allow me to feed from? Is it just one dot?
One per week.
One a week. And resonances are completely random.
Yep. Let's roll on that random table.
I'll leave it to you.
Let's see. Is it going to be very strong at all? That's our first roll. It's bland. It's almost not worth it.
Doesn't look like I've had proper time to give this one attention. I'll have to see about it later.
Yeah, this person that you regularly see, they're an acquaintance of yours. They're not someone that you have a very strong connection with, as far as being personable or anything. But you do visit them frequently enough that you're on a first name basis, and strangely enough, they seem like a well-adjusted individual, and that kind is boring.
No. I need someone a little more interested in me. Something a little more... Well, how do I put it? Romantic, inflamed, nights. I need to hear them yell out my name, Vanessa, Vanessa. That kind of thing.
Hmm.
I'm almost sad I wasn't able to get with the Pax's friend. I'll have to torture him another time.
Of course, of course. Alistair,
Yes.
how are you feeding? Are you hunting or are you herd?
I am going to hunt tonight.
Okay. So you're hunting
Yes.
for somebody who may have stumbled upon the university grounds. So go ahead and make me your hunting roll. Somebody who's maybe tagged along and you're following. Maybe isn't a follower yet.
Ooh.
Ugh.
I'll re-roll those 2 dice. I have to.
Okay.
Did we recover willpower at the beginning of the session?
Every new night, you recover willpower equal to your composure or your resolve, whichever's higher.
Okay.
In
Just wanted to make
superficial
sure before.
damage.
Yes.
Aggravated, you do have to use the. You do have to fulfill a desire or work toward ambition to do.
Nope.
No dice tonight.
Yeah, just no right situations. No right situations. You've been introduced to several different people as a result of your little fellowship that you're starting to brew at the university. But while your usuals are a little tapped out at the moment, going for someone who's a little off the beaten path when it comes to your usual, that's harder to do. And getting them cornered into a situation where you can feed on them without any issues is even harder in this situation, given that the space in which you're meeting just isn't conducive to that. It's hard to just pick somebody at random, especially when you are trying to invest in them. But your hunger has you more interested in the taste of their blood than it is in the actual conversation that they're having with you about the subject of their study.
Well, I would finish my rounds then. And then I don't like doing it, but I'll probably stop in and see Jax for a moment.
And is it Jax a member of your herd, or is that someone you just have a inkling
It is
for?
a member of my herd, but it is also the significant other.
Mm-hmm. He kind of sidles up to you. He's happy to see you. Are you just feeding on him? Or did you have...
I will spend some time. Because, well, I didn't come here just to... He's too pretty for that.
Mm-hmm. And he's like putty in your hands. He's easily able to be convinced of all of your desires, and sneaking in a quick bite isn't hard for you to do. Now, out of your herd, how many dots are you taking?
Oh, I can only take one, correct?
If you only have 1 dot herd, then yes, 1 per week.
Yes. I'm looking to expand that, but that's why I'm working at the university.
Mm-hmm. Just aren't quite there yet.
Nope. It's coming along, though.
It's coming along. maybe the person you were chatting up has some potential now that you have a little bit of your belly fuller. You're thinking back on the conversation, and maybe a couple more people like them, and you'll be set.
Yes.
But Jax does insist that he has to get ready for work for in the morning, and so must retire. Especially since he's feeling a little woozy right now.
Well, I make sure to see him and let him get a good night's sleep.
All right. Yvette? Are you hunting, or are you feeding from your herd?
Always hunting.
Always hunting.
I do my best to spare, especially after last night. Chris will end up coming back from his test. Perhaps I will end up considering it, but I'd rather not end up exercising that issue until afterwards. So.
Chris does send you a text during the day saying that he did fairly well. He'll know the grade probably tomorrow.
I can't help but smile. I believe the difficulty is 4, right?
Yes, that's correct, in your own domain.
I will.
Oh.
Maybe.
Much better. That's a total of 8.
Oui.
I would say that even this is a person that you've gotten to know fairly well at this point. This is definitely someone whom you have grown accustomed to chatting with in your neighborhood. Someone that you have. Your advice to them over the last few weeks has made a significant difference in their life. And thus, should you have the experience to spend on it, you can add to your herd at this point.
Yeah.
You do have enough contacts to be able to do so now.
I imagine I am holding on to this dearest friend. I am behind them and cradling them in my lap. Their head is rested upon my shoulder. I am holding on with their back pressed to my chest as I feel them in the throes of the kiss, but for me, I'm doing so while reading text messages and smiling at Chris's hopefully passing grade. It is the closest we can spend time for me actually having supper with them. I almost forget myself, but it is odd. I feel a small sense of accomplishment and the beauty of the moment. This fine vintage I am enjoying, and I'm almost relaxed. An unusual circumstance for me, but I am doing so and will also take 2 points and also try to heal perhaps just a little.
All right.
That is all I will do. One health as I have failed the rouse check, bringing me back to 2 hunger, but it is enough to begin.
Since your crit was since your hunting roll was a crit, I will allow you to choose which resonance, but I will roll the strength.
Ooh, that is a good What resonance would I end up preferring to end up taking?
Yes. Since the Ventru nose for a good vintage is part of the way in which you do hunt.
It's true. I am very. I have a certain love in trying to end up finding appropriate no. That is. Let us just say that it is unusual to end up finding such things. I believe I would be most in preference to phlegmatic at this exact moment.
Okay, let's roll strength. Well, there's a slight flavor, but it's not too terribly strong. But it's on the right track. Maybe a little bit of coaxing, and they'll be exactly the way you'd like.
Happy. I will end up licking the wound, using my own gifts to have them perhaps a little bit hazy over the moment. Perhaps they fell asleep in conversation, worried that I need to end up bringing them home. I'm sure that they don't mind the drive from an old friend.
Not at all.
Though I also watch over their location. Mostly for poachers, but I also have a small connection to this one, as I do all of my heart. And it makes it difficult at times, but I try to end up pacing myself when possible. Incroyable. So, I begin to end up making my way to the coterie house, driving along in that SUV. I believe this is what the children would say gives me the look of a soccer mom.
Most parents do opt for SUVs these days. So, La Muerta was wanting to do a quick roll. How are you going about doing so?
It's been so long since I've been able to hunt in my element. And it'll be as I always do. I am a predator, and I hunt like one. But I don't rely on my physical strength. I rely on a supernaturally enhanced sense of pressure that I exert on others. And in that, they buckle to my whim. Not through persuasion, but by force.
Extortion and intimidation are your go-to.
So it would be a charisma intimidation, and I would like to note that I'm using both Shadow Cloak and Daunt.
Okay. Then you can apply the bonuses applicable.
Three is normally not enough, right?
No, not enough.
Then I will spend a willpower. That's 5.
Okay. That'll work.
As La Muerta corners someone in an alleyway, they may have taken a step out of a club to get some air, or something similar. And she just starts wordlessly walking down the alleyway. This aura present that freezes someone in place. The very shadows distending and bending in ways that would seem so unnatural, but not so unnatural that you wouldn't be able to just put it away as a trick of the light. Based on the large coat and the generally very tall but lanky frame that Liv possesses. And she leans down, having trapped someone against the wall. And as they whimper, she's like, shh. And she'll take one.
Okay.
And make the wound clean. Put it down to a chance encounter that maybe got a little heavy, but not exceptionally so. Maybe leaving them high strung before she smirks and disappears into the night.
All right. And thus, after a couple hours after sunset, the coterie does finally meet together at the coterie house, kind of coming in a one at a time sort of basis. It's saying hellos, good evenings, all of the small pleasantries that go on between individuals of a familiar and stranger nature.
Hola. How is everyone doing this evening?
Yvette ends up coming in with her regular equipment when Lupe ends up offering greeting. She simply smiles and nods her head. Well enough, mademoiselle. I trust that you ended up managing to rest, given the course of the day.
See, everything went rather swimmingly. Large thanks to Senorita Pax assisting last night.
You're welcome.
Mademoiselle Pax, she gives a small nod.
Evening, Yvette.
Yvette ends up placing her case upon the table and seems to be going over it, cleaning the rifle, oiling, making sure everything chambers accurately. She does so as well as oiling the blade and her Glock along with others, but she does so in what Lupe may perceive to be a near ritualistic fashion. I trust this evening, she racks the slide to check it, that Mademoiselle here, Rosales,
Out of character, Lupe's last name has not ever been acknowledged.
Okay. Nope, that's fine. That's
Flores.
force a habit on my part.
Yep.
So, Mademoiselle
You would know
Lupe,
her. Yeah, you would know her mortal name is Vanessa Flores, and as a kindred, she goes by Lupe.
Then Mademoiselle Flores, this evening you will be spending time to meet with the Baron properly.
See, I admit I'm a little nervous. Usually, well, let's just say the last time I ended up meeting with the Baron, he was well, frankly, he kicked me out.
What did you do?
exist. This was in San Antonio. I believe I spoke a little bit about it. The simplicity of the culture around there is that they don't really accept wanderers anymore. If I could. I know it's already a lot. And you're already creating such a, circumstances that I can speak with the Baron. And Lupe looks down at Yvette's, polishing the weaponry. And she looks between Yvette and Pax. If I could ask for, I suppose, just someone to help back me up? I mean, you're already creating the stage,
I will accompany.
Thank you.
It is my duty to those who have first come, and to the Baron himself. She slides the magazine, racks the slide to chamber around, places the safety on, and puts it into her shoulder holster, leaving the Glock now in its place before moving on to the FAMAS. But be warned, the Baron is of very low temperament these evenings. It is best to try and end up remaining with some degree of professionalism, if that can be maintained.
Sí.
Fantastic.
Gracias. Gracias, Mademoiselle Yvette LaCroix.
Oui. Yeah. Mademoiselle Pax says that you are a friend, and I allow that the use of such a name to be used. Though I would be hesitant to end up using it openly. It may end up giving you more trouble than San Antonio.
T.
Mm-hmm.
For the choice of narrative choices,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to have La Muerta come in just as
She's already
just as,
present,
Lupe?
so.
Just oh, okay, I'm already present. Sure.
Yep.
I'm gonna take silent note of the fact that Lupe referred to Yvette as Senorita LaCroix. And I'd like to silently ask if I could make a. Actually, no. There's no point in doing that. She probably wouldn't know.
I mean, depending
well,
on your, it would be an intelligence
She's
politics.
She's intelligence and no politics, so no.
Yeah.
No, Yvette didn't let that slide for no reason. She is doing a wits insight, trying to end up gauging the reaction of the two newcomers.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this out here now. Lupe knows nothing.
That's the best role I think I've ever had in this entire series.
It would be an intelligence politics for Lupe and La Muerta if they wanted to make the role. I'm
not gonna. The most I could realistically do is, I could probably argue maybe she would understand it better through Streetwise. Is like, oh, I heard this when I was visiting a Camarilla area, but otherwise, no, Lupe would not know anything about that. She has not interacted with Camarilla enough to justify knowing that name.
That's valid.
Fair enough. I could probably I could probably justify the same and maybe also justify +1 for the status she holds. In that maybe she might know a bit more.
It's kind
Especially
of
since
the intelligence
she was
politics is
very
more of a
active.
defense role for you all, because it would be whether or not you're being truthful in that you don't know anything.
Wouldn't that be...
Yvette's kind of trying to gauge your reaction.
Composure subterfuge?
I think that would be the case.
To bluff?
To hide a reaction.
To hide?
I
mean, if you're reacting at all, you know, then yeah, composure subterfuge would be that.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose to willingly fail that, and Muerto's gonna raise a brow when she hears the name.
Go ahead.
If ST wants it, I will roll the intelligence, but I got 1 dice in this, and I'm telling you now, it's gonna fail.
No, it was a composure subterfuge.
Yeah, the bluffing.
Yeah,
Okay,
but there's nothing for Lupe to...
Yeah.
Lupe doesn't know anything. That confirms
bluff,
that.
so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no reason to roll something when you don't even know.
Yeah, that's where we're standing at the moment. So,
Okay.
La Muerta, she quirks her brow. Lupe looks like she obviously does not know what you're talking about.
At this moment, she slides the... or she begins to rack the slide on the FAMAS to be sure that everything works, and when the click happens, she then briefly perhaps looks up at La Muerta, letting her know that they see each other. And goes back to continuing to place everything back in the case, the scabbard for the blade, along with the belt to attach it properly, all placed in the case before she closes it back. I will gladly accompany both for yourself and La Muerta.
Sounds good to me.
Will Monsieur Knight be accompanying us as well?
Have I shown up yet?
Everyone was present, so yes.
Oh.
I purposefully said everybody had already arrived.
Oh, my bad. I thought that I wasn't there yet. That's why I was being silent.
Nope.
I have some personal business I would like to attend to for the coach tonight. If that is okay, if I am unneeded, it is up to you all. I'm at your disposal if you need it.
Out of curiosity, what do you plan to do?
Oh, something that the coterie has talked about. I figured I'd get the ball rolling. We need a source of income. I plan to start that, get that started.
Source of income?
Yeah.
Yvette rolls her eyes at this moment.
Do I see that?
Clearly. She's being so avert that Alistair cannot avoid it.
Yes. Yes, Miss LaCroix.
You'll have to pardon Monsieur Knight. He is not aware on how to end up knowing on how to end up judging character in the long term. I am sure that Mademoiselle Flores would understand that the discussion is something to be held to the coterie themselves, and while they are guests of Mademoiselle Pax, it is no need for us to burden them with the goings-on of our coterie until it becomes prevalent.
Ah, fuck, I did it again.
Monsieur
Point
Knight
taken.
has a good heart, but his knowledge of politics is lacking. His experience on this side of the grave is near negligible. A Challenger who is still finding his feet in this new world. Something I'm sure you can understand.
Lupe puts a hand up to her face, clearly hiding a smirk and a chuckle. She avoids eye contact with both Alistair and Yvette. And if anything, it's more of the reaction of, ouch.
La Muerta doesn't even try to hide the upturn of her lips.
Oh well. I was doing good for a while. It's about time for me to fuck something up.
For anybody who is particularly observant, Yvette seems completely calm, rational, and simply business as usual, except for the fact that she is currently clinging on to the arm of the chair so aggressively, she may tear it completely off.
Well,
This has been an invigorating evening.
yes, you all have fun.
Very well.
I'm gonna hang out around here for a little while.
If you need anything, Mademoiselle Cosetta, please do let me know.
I got your number. I know.
She grabs hold of her case. Mademoiselle Murta, Mademoiselle Flores. Ici. She starts walking towards the door.
And Lupe will go ahead and follow her, almost with a little skip to her step.
La Muerta just looks around, kind of meeting Pax's eyes for a moment, and giving her a look like kids these days, right? Before exiting herself.
Oh well. I'll look over at Pax. Well, I have been pretty good about it for a while, but like I said, it was time.
We've had this conversation before, Alistair.
Yeah. I'm trying. I forget sometimes that I didn't think about that being a secret.
Everything's a secret.
Yeah.
That's really how you should be addressing it.
It was a slip up on my part.
I ain't gonna beat you over the head with it. Next
I
time I'll
know.
just shoot you.
I haven't been shot yet. I wonder how that. I don't want to find out, but the thought of.
I mean, I could, tell you. I could demonstrate right now if you want me to.
Oh.
Imagine there is a French voice that echoes down the hallway as they're speaking. There is still time.
No, as much as it would satisfy my intellectual curiosity, I think I will refrain from trying to get shot.
Good, because I wasn't about to waste a bullet on your sorry ass anyway. Get out of here.
There's another voice that echoes from down the hallway. If you want something bigger, let me know.
Nope. While I am a size queen, no.
I didn't need to know that. Get out of here.
Okay. And I'll go over and grab my stuff and head out.
All right. So you all are headed to where? The Baron?
I believe I have already made arrangements with Monsieur Ball
Mm-hmm.
to end up having us contact the Baron at an appropriate time.
Mm-hmm.
I am simply trying to end up remaining on schedule.
Yes, yes, of course. Let's see. All right. And of course, as per the arrangements, you meet up at a location that was given to you as per the Baron's wishes. A rather nice sort of home, kind of on the outskirts of town. And you're welcomed in by staff. It's an immaculate home, almost pristine, almost too pristine in some ways. Everything is in exactly the right place and exactly the right points. And of course there are staff who seem to be, occasionally doing this or that to kind of maintain the household, but it's very clean. And you're walked into the front lobby, as it's a 2-story home that has kind of this wide entrance area. And the staff person says, "The master will be with you shortly," and gives you a slight bow, and walks off to go attend to some other business they may have in the house.
Très bien. She starts to end up waiting with La Muerta and Mademoiselle Flores, keeping a very straight and structured. Yeah, perhaps they would even recognize what seems to be almost military at ease, with her having the case hanging from the tips of her fingers behind the small of her back.
Lupe makes a point to sit down on one of the couches, keeping to her best behavior, but very clearly just absolutely enamored with the environment. Go ahead. There's so much. Look at everything, it's so shiny.
The Baron prefers to end up collecting various artifacts and has developed quite some tastes over the decades they have existed. I would end up trusting that you have the good sense not to touch anything without the least expressed permission.
Look, perfectly fair. I'm not looking to get eaten tonight.
Très bien. I'm so glad we are on the same page.
But so much of it looks like it would go for a pretty penny at an antique store.
The Baron does have good taste, though. Very good taste.
Just that vase over there. It looks like it could go for a couple $100.
And Lupe just kind of like visibly waves the thought out of her head. I guess, I'm curious. What has been, sort of the dealings this crew has had with, the Baron? Are we on good terms, bad terms?
at this exact moment, that is a question that cannot be answered simply. But suffice it to end up saying that it is probably for the best that I have come with you in being the individual of the coterie who has decided to end up bringing you along for appropriate invitation. If it were someone else, I fear this would not go quite as smoothly, and I do not end up having any belief that this will be completely smooth. However, it is something that is necessary and will end up being a benefit in the long term, Mademoiselle Flores.
I hope so. Well, I guess the best thing I can say right now is, gracias. Again.
She simply nods her head in appreciation, though her eye occasionally darts to La Muerta. Again, nothing is said, but it's very clear she wants to allow La Muerta to know that they see each other.
And the Muerta's eyes tick back, if only for a moment. She couldn't recall the number of times she's done this song and dance.
So, are you two gonna kiss, or...? Like, do I need to make the room a little more private?
Yeah, I'm not willing to arouse that ire of who she's referring to. She's remaining specifically vague on that.
It is a small matter, nothing of immense importance at this exact time. After all, we are guests in the domain of Baron Kane, and I doubt such discussions nor actions would be appreciated upon the fine leather sofa you are now currently enjoying.
Saleh. Right. I feel like maybe that's a conversation for you two anyways. But, again, like you said, wrong place, wrong time.
Just remember what it is I said back at the Haven, and all should be well. She proceeds to again straighten up and await. Less spoken to, she stays at that at ease position, with her case hanging behind at the small of her back.
Lupe, almost copying both La Muerta and Yvette's postures, sits up herself.
And before too long, you do see that the man you know as Jesse Kane does come down the stairs from up above you, and kind of gives a gentle wave to Yvette and kind of looks to the other two. Good evening.
Yvette bows. Baron Kane.
La Muerta will do the same. For as rough as she sounds, you better be able to tell she's no stranger to etiquette.
And Lupe, watching the other two, stands up from her seat. Buenas noches, and again, mimicking the other two, also bows.
Shall we to the office? And he kind of gestures towards a door, just off towards the right hand side of him, and goes towards starts walking towards it. He's wearing a really nice sort of light blue suit with a dark tie, with a white shirt. His hair kind of pulled into this really neat sort of short ponytail. His beard looking pristine, and everything about him just looks well kept. And so the two of you are he looks about as well kept as this house. Everything about his wardrobe, his hair, his beard, his everything is in the right place.
Lamuerta obviously doesn't say this out loud, but there is a thought that runs through her mind of this reeks of a voivode. The way that everything is in some perfect place, that obsessive compulsive trait with that she's seen some of them exhibit from time to time. It's like it's written.
He enters into the office, kind of opening the door wide, and then goes toward a set of couches that are kind of sitting opposite of each other, with a coffee table between them. The room is just lined with books. It's a fairly large office, with the two couches first, and then another desk and two chairs sort of sitting sitting on the opposite end of the room. This sort of this library sort of has numerous books on the walls, some of which at a glance you can see, some of which are old, some of which are very new, some of which are kind of cataloged and organized in an exact way. And but nothing is out on the tables as of right now. Everything's packed away and put away where it should be. And so he goes to one of the couches and sits down in it, kind of leaning back a little casually with one leg crossed across the other, and kind of gestures to you all to take the other couch.
She'll do so.
Lupe will go ahead and sit next to Liv, leaving enough space for Yvette if she chooses to sit down with them.
Yvette will walk directly behind the Baron. Place herself at the right-hand side, standing here behind the couch. She puts herself at ease. Baron K, allow me to introduce you to Mademoiselle Lamuerta and Mademoiselle Flores, both new arrivals into the city of Austin. And both would like to seek your clemency in being involved in your domain, and wish to end up speaking open and honestly to their intent.
Open and honest is exactly how I like things. I would hope that you both would be open and honest. So, it's a pleasure to meet you both. Where are you from? Did you come in together?
No. No, Senor Berenkin. I guess I'll start. My name is Lupe. I am honestly a bit of a wayward. I am a Texas native, grew up in Austin. But, didn't really spend a lot of time there, to be honest. When I haven't been one of us for very long. And honestly, for as long as I have been one of us, I've been around. I've been forced to travel. Austin is not. Well, we're in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Had a character mistake. I've been forced to travel. I've been to San Antonio. San Antonio was not very accommodating. Did not want travelers. And I've also been to other cities in Texas, but, well, they're also not accommodating to travelers, as you probably are aware. Different culture, is how I would put it.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the time being, I've been trying to get by, and so far Austin has been the most accommodating. I was hoping.
Good to hear.
See, the kindred here are kinder. Then that's another thing. I was informed that we're supposed to refer to each other as kindred. I didn't know that before. If that doesn't date me.
How many have you met so far?
Within Austin, I've met the coterie associated with Mademoiselle Yvette. And I've met La Muerta. And I've met... Well, I have met the Don Hernandez.
I see.
In San Antonio, I met the Baron there. He was, scary.
Oh. Interesting.
Coffee, out of character, remind me who the Bruja Baron was in San Antonio.
Jameson.
That'd be Baron Jameson.
Mm-hmm.
Jameson, thank you. I believe his name was Jameson?
Yes, I have heard of him. Bit of a stickler, that one.
That's putting it mildly. I'm a regret to inform. But as far as the rest of me...
Well, given that your Don Hernandez is buddy-buddy with a lot of kindred in San Antonio, I don't see why they would be of any hostility towards you.
They said they don't accept travelers anymore. They don't take refugees. I'm not sure what that necessarily meant. But I do know, and I can introduce more properly. I understand I am of Clan Ravnos, so...
Ravnos. The daredevil. The wild thing.
That's what I've been told. But I prefer to keep to myself. Stay on the low.
You can see that at the mention of travelers not being allowed in San Antonio anymore, and Lupe admitting that she is of Clan Ravnos, there's a small grimace that comes across La Muerta's face, as if as if there's a connection that's been made in her mind that is altogether distasteful.
Something on your mind.
It strikes me as distasteful of Baron Jameson to say that to a Ravnos of all people.
Well, to be quite frank, their doors have been very closed ever since the Camarilla of Dallas decided that they wanted to go knocking.
Dallas, Hunters, take your pick.
Yes. Yes, and so people are coming here now, to Austin. I am a welcoming host. So, don't shit on my lawn, and I won't shit on yours.
That's
May I
certainly a mentality I can get behind.
It's completely understandable.
Yes, it's far more vulgar than I usually use, but it gets the point across to you young people. So, I've heard a little bit about Miss Lupe. La Muerta, that's an interesting name. Spanish for death. The death, if you want to be particular.
See? And Lupe kind of puts her elbow to her knee, propping up her head, and she's intently looking at La Muerta.
That is correct.
One doesn't simply take a moniker and not have something to show for it.
I have been, let's say, around.
Another traveler.
Of a different sort. As far as that goes, I have been all over and heard much of what has ailed our kind in cities across this country.
Where are you from?
In my youth, I called Jackson, Mississippi my home.
Jackson. The city that fell to anarchs was originally Camarilla up until 10 years ago.
That's correct.
I'm surprised. Well, stories of kindred from that city originally have been cropping up all over the place here in Texas, it seems.
That is not surprising to me, given that, well, we tend to run from fire, do we not?
It's true. I'm reminded of a particular baron who fought off a Camarilla invasion in San Antonio, who also hails from Jackson. Mr. Urian Doyle.
The War Baron of San Antonio. I've heard the stories.
Apparently all true.
Isn't there always a kernel of truth to things that become legend?
I suppose so. In fact, he recently paid a visit here to Austin.
Interesting.
Though I've only heard one side of the story. Do you know the other?
Regarding the War Baron,
No, regarding Jackson. Anarchs sing high praise to Uriah Doyle as he is the hero who slew King Marius Calhoun. Prince Marius Calhoun.
I've heard the stories of that, yes. How Anarchs sing his praises for that. Frankly, it's of very little consequence to me in the end.
Intriguing.
We are timeless beings,
It's true.
yet we find our days are forever numbered. We exist and we die, yet the power that we wield always finds a new place to rest its head. What is it but another step in the game? Another cog in this machine that we exist in, lubricated with blood.
Indeed. How are you enjoying Austin?
It's quiet. Not quite like that,
Compared to Jackson, of course.
compared to many other places.
Rumor has it Jackson is still rioting. To this day. But that's only hearsay.
I wouldn't know. Honestly, I haven't seen it in a long time. At least a decade. No, I've seen and heard of my fair share of riots and other things. Detroit comes to mind.
Yes. We must be ever vigilant of the kinds of threats that mortals pose. With technology advancing more and more every day, and with most of that being military research and development, keen eyes. Keen eyes are what we need to keep that sort of thing from happening. And people, kindred, who don't make a mess. And if they do make a mess, I never hear about it. Because if I've heard about it, so has every other kindred in this damn city. Which also means that there's the potential that someone else who shouldn't does too.
Cleaning up after yourself. Kindred Existence 101.
The masquerade is the only rule. The only rule that any and all kindred should abide by. Because it means the safety for yourself and for others. So don't fuck it up.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Good. Good.
If I might, Baron,
Yes.
I do want to actually praise you for your tastes in artwork, artifacts, and the whatnot. You have a splendid collection.
Already been eyeing my collection, I see.
Only because I tend to follow within the same steps. But I suppose this is where the daredevil part of me comes in. I like bringing those kinds of things to people. You say to have keen eyes. Are you looking for someone who has keen eyes for that?
I'm always on the lookout for new things. Generally speaking, I have my ways of getting them. But I shall keep you in mind, should I need to part with something.
And I'll keep you in mind should I happen to find anything.
Anything of interest. I'm not... I'm not so keen on just anything. Everything must be perfect. You see.
Perfect. Okay. By perfect, you mean in order, not broken or damaged. Define.
However it is that you take perfect to mean. If you want to make such ventures and try and impress me with something, be my guest.
I feel like it would only be appropriate. So think of it as sort of a thanks for, well, for your hospitality.
Speaking of which, rent will be coming due fairly soon, Yvette.
I will end up endeavoring to end up being prepared for when it is due.
Make sure that you and the rest of your coterie know. This way, should I have something that I need to task you with, I will.
Of course, Baron Kane. We are at your disposal.
Perfect.
Merci.
Well, I'm sure you ladies have other things you must be getting to. It was a pleasure to meet you both, La Muerta and Lupe.
Pleasure to
Likewise,
meet
Baron
you.
Kane.
And he stands up from his couch and extends a hand for you both.
Lupe, somewhat excitedly, takes his hand and with a gesture of like a tilt to her head and a wink, she goes ahead and gives him a firm handshake, as firm as she can manage, at least.
And
Is she
leaves
suggesting something with that wink?
It's kind of a mannerism of hers, if anything.
Okay.
She's leaving it friendly.
Okay. He'll give your hand a firm shake, and he's also fairly firm in his handshake. And then once he's done with Lupe, he extends it over to you, La Muerta.
And she would shake his hand, although a lot more stoic and professional than Lupe was.
Again, pleasure to meet you both. Should you be wishing to stay in this domain, I will need recompense. Hospitality has been granted to you for 3 nights. But after that, rent comes due.
Si, senor. All the better reason to be giving you a gift, so to speak.
Then consider yourselves my guests and under my protection. Should you need anything, I'm at your disposal.
Gracias.
I do also have duties to attend to, so I feel you'll excuse me. And he kind of gestures towards the door for you all.
Yvette will escort the two out of the Baron's chamber, simply giving him a nod, but he does run the show. After they leave, she simply looks to the two. Well, now that was not so bad. Now the formalities are out of the way, we may continue on with our evening.
See? It appears I was of one mind with the Baron, considering providing him with some sort of skill or trade that I can offer, at least as far as the rent is.
It is something that must come at time. All you can do is prepare yourself to have the options to do as appropriate. Now, that being said, is there anything else that you two must end up having done this evening that I can be of assistance with?
There's nothing.
Oh. My apologies.
There's nothing from my end at this stage. Although, and she looks back just to make sure that she's making sure that she's definitely out of earshot of the house.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is, I thought my clan wore it on their sleeves.
In reference to?
Every object in that house sings it. It sings one name loud and true. A dragon is nothing without his hoard after all.
perhaps. But so long as that heart remains intact and the laws of its land obeyed, you have nothing to fear.
Suppose I do have another question.
If I understand the answer, then I will gladly acquiesce, Mademoiselle Flores.
In previous history, you've worked with Baron Kane. Has he ever specified what kind of rent he looks for?
Upping tasks. A barony requires eyes, ears, hands, words, and ears. We operate in to end up assisting him in a method that assists the barony, and in turn are offered the protections of this particular domain. Nothing should ever come across this domain without the Baron's consent or knowledge. You understand, yes?
See? That makes
Fantastic.
perfect sense.
You have something on your mind, Mademoiselle Muerta?
I have a lot on my mind. It's rare that I'm not thinking about something these days.
But I hope that the Baron has left you in good spirit.
Yeah, we could go with that. For now, at least. Although there is something that I want to bring up with you. But not here. Not now.
No. I understand. See, I've been watching the two of you. This is the part where to make out. See? Yeah. Don't worry. I'll go bother Signor Alistair, is what I'll do. I'll go find him. Don't worry about me. Mademoiselle Lacroix?
You go, you go do that.
Mademoiselle Lacroix?
Eh,
And Lupe puts out her hands and very slowly but gently takes Yvette's hands in hers and just holds them. Gracias. Truly. I'm excited to not have to, well, be running away for once.
So long as you end up operating in the best interests of the domain in the barony, I shall always be of assistance, Mademoiselle Flores. I hope you do not cling too tightly to the reputation of your blood.
She gives a sort of a comforting two squeezes to Yvette. I have no idea what any of that means. But
In time I will teach you.
hell, that would just be another favor owed. You gotta give me a chance to catch up to you.
If I did that, I would not be living up to my own blood. Be
You set
well.
the bar so high.
Be well, Mademoiselle Flores. I look forward to seeing you a little later on this evening.
The same to you. And she looks to La Muerta. You're going to have to tell me what your name means. To you. I know what it means. But I want to know what it means to you. If you have the time.
Let me put it to you this way. If you're lucky, you'll never have to find out.
And she kind of tilts her head. I get the feeling it's got to do with Jackson. Right?
Oh, so much more than that. But trust me, Lupe, ignorance is bliss. Be willing to revel in that bliss. But when it's taken away from you, you can never get it back.
I guess I'll take your word for it.
I'm sure Monsieur Knight be looking for you.
Oh, I'm sure he isn't. But I'm going to make myself his problem anyways.
Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Yvette places her hands in front of her and gives Lupe a small bow. Her finger tracing the wedding band upon her finger, perhaps thinking of home. As the irony is, Lupe seems to be excited at finding one, whereas Yvette, she worries about keeping one.
And as I'm sure Lupe will probably make her leave, and once she's out of earshot. So you've got a lick under your care. And that's sure to be interesting, Miss LaCroix.
All kindred who find themselves wayward may need a guide at times. I was fortunate to end up having one for myself. It is simply me giving back to this city.
And that's noble. My only hope is that there's a recognition of the inevitable tragedy.
Speak your mind, Mademoiselle Muerta. She turns and looks her over.
Those with the blood of Ravnos are doomed to wander forever. All guidance they are given is but fleeting.
Perhaps.
Even more so than the rest of us.
Perhaps. And yet I end up wondering, who else would? You already said it yourself when describing the Ravnos. But I think that's not why you ended up asking to pull me aside.
No, it isn't. Really, there's something that catches my eye. The name LaCroix. What a burden it is you bear. And a silent one, no less.
Lies are for those who are fearful. And while I understand that fear, I would rather it not haunt me at every opportunity. You heard earlier, Baron Jim, or Baron Kane appreciates honesty, and so I have given him honesty. My name of my sires and my sire's sires all the way back. A keepsake and a reminder of where we come from.
Well, that would make sense. It would be more important to you than it would be to anyone else.
You would think, and yet it is not. You heard earlier that the new, what did you say, Lick, has met with the other Baron, we?
Jameson.
No.
Yeah.
In this city.
Oh.
You seem educated, no muertos. So allow me to ponder something to you.
By all means.
I, a Ventrue of the line of LaCroix, exist in the Baron Kane's domain. Across the way is a Baron who is very much Bruja. And the Bruja and Ventrue have a history that always ends in bloodshed.
Oh, of that, I am very aware.
And so when I end up warning Lupe of not to use my last name so freely, it is in fact in her own interest. I already know what will become of me the moment I cross outside of this domain. It is a gilded cage, oui?
And I suppose for the dragon that rules over such a cage, the gilding is all he can give you. For he could set you free, but the only thing that waits on the other side of that cage is death. Or worse. And I suppose in that the true nature of the dragon emerges.
How poetic you are.
I suppose it's kind of our shtick.
She says the word a few times, mulling it over as though trying to taste it to understand it. You will get a little complaint from me, mademoiselle. My job is to simply make sure that the order that is asked of our Dometer remains. This is his sandbox, and in turn it is also mine and yours. I would like to end up keeping it neat and tidy, as he prefers it. And I have no doubt the blood in your veins would prefer it as well. But as for my name, will that be a problem? Has death come to find me at last?
I am death, but not for you.
No?
These days, wherever my reaper's scythe shall be pointed.
And that's what's pointed at Austin.
No. It wasn't so long ago, at least by my standards, that I felt hatred in my heart for those who would count themselves amongst the anarch movement. Because I'm not going to lie to you, Miss LaCroix. I was there at the fall of Jackson. I was of the same sect that your bloodline hails from. But I learned something watching those flames. The warfare is pointless in the end. It squabbles over territories whilst cities like Detroit burn in monument to what true threats are. And as someone who is fought a very similar threat for a very, very long time, the same sort of threat that used to count the contemporaries of Baron Kane amongst their number. I know full well that things are and certainly are not as they seem, especially when it comes to this, and that above all, those numbered days that we live, despite being timeless creatures, those days should be preserved with a relative peace. So I care not for the machinations and scheming of the ivory tower any longer, nor do I care for the scrabbling and petty conflicts that make up the bulk of the anarch free states.
Very well then.
I simply exist as a force to make sure that peace is kept, no matter what side. This city is anarch, and anarch it shall remain.
Amuata, I must ask you, mademoiselle, has anybody ever told you that you are a convincing Malkavian? Because at this point I am convinced you may have lost your mind.
The difference between a Toreador and a Malkavian is a fine line, but they share the same malaise. That only the genius experiences and the insane lament.
I think that is where we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back soon, everyone. We're going to take a little bit of a break and be back with more of Austin by Starlight, episode 18. So, don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to Austin by Starlight, episode 18. We left Yvette and La Muerta at just outside the Baron's home, where everything was beautiful and immaculate, and everything was going off swimmingly. And once Lupe had made her way out of the conversation, as it was apparently clear that Yvette and Laberta wanted to have a private conversation of some sort, she knew that it was best that she just vacate the premises. So, on her own, was beginning to do a little bit of a search. Now, one of the drawbacks to Lupe's condition is she must spend day sleep in a different location every night, or suffer the consequences. Lupe, why don't you give us an idea what those consequences are and why it is that you avoid it like the plague?
Well, in simplicity, it feels rather unexpected. Or at least it did when it first happened. I, new to my condition, was trying to enjoy myself. I spent the night at the same motel. Honestly, 2 nights before it happened in a row. Sleeping with the same people, drawing the same blood, in the same bed. And then one night I woke, and it was like the sun was burning from inside of me. I felt my fingers and my toes shaking. Warmth, that anything beyond what I could have anticipated, ripping through me. Like my nerves on fire. I thought I was going to die. I panicked. I checked the windows, but it was night. And when I threw myself from the bed, I was fine again. At least, it felt like it for a moment. It was so quick, so sudden. Like it tore through me. I went to the bathroom and opened everything up to see my very heart. Like Saint Maria. Exposed. A burning rash across it. And every vein in my body blowing through. It was like fire was lit in me. It was glowing. And eventually, like a candle, it went out. But yeah. My God. Oh my God, it hurt. I refuse to go through that again. No matches. No mass. I refuse. I don't know what it is about this blood of mine. Curse of death that I face. But in a way, it feels like everything inside of me. Like a calling and a cry deep from somewhere else. Inside my very spirit, something wants me to die still. Die more than I already have. I won't perish that way. And so I run. I run from the burning. Fire inside me.
Because if you're caught with your heart exposed and you're walking around breathing, then there's an issue. Not only does it hurt, but it's also a breach of the one rule that anarchs face. The most important rule that Camarilla tout.
Camarilla, Anarchs, Berenkane, whoever. It just makes common sense. Don't fucking show what you are.
Keep it secret.
They're all secrets. See? But it's hard to do when you spontaneously combust.
And so, you're out looking for another bed to sleep in, walking down a street in the nearby domain of the the coterie known as Pygmalion. Now, Yvette and Alistair and Pax's domain. And so, you're walking down a familiar street. You've been down this road before, trying to see if there's a nearby hotel or vacant lot or something to hide yourself away in that will protect you from the sun. When you spot a little hole-in-the-wall bar, looks like a pretty decent crowd has entered in. The parking lot's fairly full. But the reason that this bar kind of stands out for you is that you see a familiar face walking out of it, a little bit discouraged. Kind of looks like he's making some kind of mental note. He's otherwise distracted for a moment as he's walking out towards his car as you're passing by.
Oh, that couldn't possibly be him. Is it him?
It's Mr. Alistair Knight, if that's who you think it is.
This would be fun. Buenas noches. I approach Senor Alistair.
What? I want to separate in and out of characters. What do I know to call this character?
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Vanessa.
Hola, senor. Surprising to find you out here. I would have thought you would have been nose deep in your books.
No, I am out having some fun tonight. But that place... Who plays country that loud for that long?
People in Texas, that's who.
Yeah, I'm playing into the stereotype.
Oh, don't let Senorita actually hear you ever say that. Senorita Pax will be most offended. But you say you're here out for fun. What kind of fun?
Looking for a new spot.
A new spot?
Yeah.
To play?
A little bit. And I have... Well, let's just say I have a plan. And I'll just get a smile on my face.
I see. You mentioned before you were looking for resources for the rest of the crew. If you don't mind. And she kind of slips her arm in between his, locks arm with Alistair. How about we go and scout around together? Well, since I'm going to be around for a bit, and under Senorita Pax's supervision, I'd imagine I'll be working closely with the rest of you as well. See?
Well, I have seen no problem with tag teaming this. It's better cover than going in alone. I think we could have some fun tonight.
And let's go play. And she gives a grin out of the side of her cheek, kind of revealing a little bit of fang.
Yes, let's.
And with that, Coffee, let's go ahead and we're gonna scout around for a pretty decent bar on 6th Street here.
Okay.
What would Alistair be looking for specifically?
Oh, sorry, Coffee.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Well, you would know, Alistair, that 6th Street is kind of one of those, you're free to feed here, but don't try and claim anything as yours. So.
Well, I was looking for places off of 6th Street, right?
Right. Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Is there okay?
Something a little more local is what he was looking for.
All right, something within our supposed. Do we have a domain?
You have a domain. I haven't exactly specifically designated it yet because maps. But it is. It is one. If it's there, you'll find it. I'm leaving it to rolls. So.
All right, then we're gonna search within the domain, I guess, for a bar.
Okay.
Or like a nightclub or something that we can.
Space that can be converted.
Yep.
Well, I'm assuming that Alistair's been doing this from the get-go. And so, Alistair, actually, I would like you to lead the role with Lupe's assistance. And it's going to be more of a... let's see, what would that role be? Let me look at the stats.
If it's streetwise, I got that. If it's awareness, I got that.
Okay.
What about a intelligence investigation? Because he would go about it logically.
I would say more resolve.
Okay, that's acceptable.
I also have investigation.
Yeah, resolve and investigation. I'll allow it.
With a +1.
With a +1 because Lupe is helping you, and you have been doing this for most of the night anyway, already. And this one was a strikeout.
I think I will also rouse for this because we need it.
Ooh.
Are you kidding me?
2 out of 8 dice. So, you can
willpower,
or you can succeed at a cost.
What's the cost, you devil DM?
The cost... What is the cost? Do I make it interesting or do I make it simple? That's a question.
You know the answer. Make it interesting.
I'm trying to determine how I would make that interesting.
I can think of 5
Spoken
ways.
like a true goblin.
Me too. But hey, fat guy. I think Derek would like his dice back.
No. If I keep him for a while, maybe he can actually win something.
Hey,
wow.
Lamau.
That's so mean. Not wrong, but mean.
You know what? You go ahead and keep them. My gift to you.
How generous, sir. No, this is karma for our game the other night.
Not yet, it isn't. I'm working on karma.
I'm gonna say... There's an unexpected patron of the bar.
Ooh. You know, that's vague and dangerous enough that
It just
we're doing
might
it
work.
because I... Yeah,
I'm
because
hoping
I
that it's
want...
Yvette Sire. That would be just king.
I hadn't thought about that, but you know what?
Fine.
That is a thought.
Worst. Don't give him ideas.
Give me all
You
the
know
You
what?
guys have
ideas.
been doing this to me for 3 goddamn years. It's about time I start offering some payback.
You have a social
what?
idiot and an idiot in the head. Don't add fuel to the fire.
Yes, please add fuel to the fire. Yes.
Oh,
Monument of the
beautiful
Victory. Do it, 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 do it.
All right, that guy, it's on you.
Like I said, it's vague enough and interesting enough, but fuck it, I want to see where this goes.
Okay.
To hell. That's where we're going.
Okay.
Yes.
Straight to hell.
So, I'm gonna treat this as a crit.
Ooh, this is going to be bad.
I'm gonna treat this
I
as
am
a
in
crit.
danger.
Because out of the few bars that are in the actual domain, there aren't very many. This one seems to be just the right kind of vibe, the right kind of environment that you know that young people at the university are just going to eat up. Has the right music. I mean, what do you know? You're kind of an old fogey. But it seems to have the right music. It seems to have the right sort of personable vibe. It has the same kind of down-to-earth mentality as some of those country bars were, but maybe it's a little bit more of a dance or hip-hop scene that might just maybe attract more than just Texans. And so it fits really well into that little niche that you were looking for, Mr. Knight. You walk in with Lupe, and indeed the vibe is very nice. It's loud where it needs to be loud. It's quiet where it needs to be quiet. There's spaces in the bar where you can have private conversations, or you could be at the bar and be chatting up the bartender. There's a few fairly attractive bartenders that are on staff tonight, and yeah, you could see your students coming and enjoying a place like this. It's definitely something that you could really get behind.
The most important question. What's the name?
You're asking me to generate a name?
Well, I gotta have a name for my notes.
Yes.
The Blind Pig Pub.
I mean, that's on the picture.
I know. Also Pygmalion. It just makes sense.
The Blind Pig Pub? I don't...
It has a strange name, but it's probably the strange ones that have the best atmosphere, you're thinking.
Yeah.
When it comes to what you're looking for. Now, you're gonna have to convince your students to come and join you at this place at some point. But that comes later. But you do see a number of people kind of just sitting and enjoying themselves, and you're really kind of digging this place.
Oh, a huevo. No, Lupe, just listening to the music, starts gyrating, dancing around, kind of joins the crowd a bit and interacts with some of the patrons before returning back to Alistair at the bar. She comes up to the bartender, and I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, before all of this, of course, I want to call that I rouse the blood to be of some warmth.
Some flush of life, yes.
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, we gotta do that.
I gotta pretend I'm a human.
Pretend you're human, yes.
Pretending I'm human.
Alistair, it makes you hungrier to do so.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to be looking around, maybe telling some stories, and maybe try to get a little bite to eat.
Yep.
If I can.
Okay.
While we're,
Wait. Aren't you hunger 4 right now? Oh wait, no,
Oh.
you dropped a dot, right?
No, yeah, he's hunger 3 now.
Don't mind me. I blanked there for a second.
Oh no. I would have definitely not be hunting in the open if I did that.
I have an idea. Lupe comes up to the bar. She looks over to Alistair, who seems to be maybe he like unconsciously kind of like has that hungry look on his face. And she just taps the bar in front of him. Signor, you want a drink?
Yeah. I think
Yeah?
so.
Oh. Okay. Bartender?
And you see a very attractive looking gentleman walk up to you as you are the next to be served drinks.
Gelados, she says, putting up 2 fingers. Gela meaning beer.
Oh, okay.
And him probably understanding a little bit of that, just nods away, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Once the beer slid over, she kind of looks to the bartender and activates awe. Senor bartender, I have a bit of a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you happen to know, this place is absolutely bouncing. We really like it. Do you happen to know anyone who could help with employment? I'm looking for a new job right now. Could I get in touch with your manager? Maybe the owner?
We're fully staffed at the moment.
But couldn't you maybe, like... Is he here tonight, perhaps?
The application is online if you want to fill it out.
I'm asking you.
And I'm telling you how we go about things.
And Awe, still very much activated. She kind of does like this little cattish squirm across the bar to him. You think you could maybe make a bit of an exception for me?
You and 15 other girls? He looks down the bar.
Am
He
I picking up anything from...
He seems to kind of get what you're trying to put down, Lupe. And while the awe does have him locking his eyes on you specifically right now, he knows this trick.
Okay.
He's fully aware that you're trying to seduce him somehow.
You sure you can't just, let me go speak to him directly? I mean, I can make an offer. Maybe an extra tip.
I'm the manager on shift right now.
Are you?
Yes.
Lupe will kind of glance at Alistair.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, we would like to have a conversation about this place. It seems very nice.
What kind of conversation are you talking about? I've got people to serve. I've got drinks to serve. Are you done?
I'm looking to bring in a bunch of clientele.
Bring in clientele. I'm not going to say no.
Out of character, does Alistair have compel?
He's... No, it's risky. I have mesmerize.
Good.
We just need a private room.
That takes me a chance of going up in hunger, though.
It's your choice.
have to-
How important is that to you?
Well, maybe later, sir. I think I'm going to go mingle and check out the atmosphere a little more.
You notice that someone is walking up next to you at the bar. Seems a little out of place because he's wearing a suit. Seems like a fairly casual suit, but a suit nonetheless.
Would I recognize this person?
I don't know. Have you met this person before?
Oh, it's actually on the screen. I'm a jackass. I didn't see. Jacques Boudon. I don't know if I have met him or not.
I don't think you have. He kind of sidles up next to you and kind of orders a drink, and then you notice that he's speaking with a rather familiar accent, though. It's French.
Now that's interesting. You remind me of someone.
Do I?
Oh, just the accent.
Is
Oh,
it
pardon my manners. I am Alistair.
Monsieur Alistair?
Yes, Alistair Knight.
Pleasure to meet you, Monsieur Light. I couldn't help but notice you were chatting up the bartender. Both of you?
Yes. Just getting a lay of the land. This seems like a nice place.
Seems rather odd to be the new people in the bar and be asking for the manager like a Karen.
I don't think I'm a little bit better looking than a Karen.
I don't know
Not
what the
as
Karen
bitchy
looks
either.
like, so I could not tell you.
And not as bitchy either. I can be catty, but only on occasions. I didn't catch your name, sir.
Oh, pardon. Jacques Lecroix.
Ding, 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 ding. Do I know anything about this?
Intelligence.
Aside from obvious.
Intelligence politics?
Okay. See if my dice hold out and disappoint me. Yep, they're going to disappoint me.
LaCroix, like the beverage? Couldn't possibly be the same, but maybe it could.
Oh, that's an interesting name. I've heard it 2 places before, and well, if you were related to either one of them, that would be amusing.
I'm sure it would be. And you are Miss?
Hola. My name is Vanessa. Vanessa Flores. Kind of new to these parts. So, I'm just
That's
trying to have a good time.
As am I. Who would have guessed?
You know, as foreigners. Share in common.
Yes. I was getting tired of the sort of, how do you put it? strangeness that comes across on the six streets. All sorts of dance clubs. It's not really my style.
And Lupe just kind of looks around, lifting an eyebrow at him inquisitively. Oh? And a nightclub bar with a younger clientele is?
I am still on my search. Perhaps you know of another good place.
Perhaps. But I'm interested in what's going on here right now.
Clearly. Apparently that bartender could not keep his eyes off of you.
No, but he wouldn't give me the time. Been trying to give him a little opportunity to start making negotiations, shall we say, but he's not giving me any space or opportunity.
You're wearing your intentions on your sleeves, mademoiselle.
Is there another way to go about it?
Subtlety.
Subtlety.
You are being very obvious. You clearly want in his pants, and he is turning you down at every chance opportunity. And yet you are unsatisfied with the fact that he has said no.
Maybe you can show me the difference of subtlety then.
I am simply enjoying a drink. This is subtlety.
Lupe will go ahead, down the beer, and she will join the dance floor and subtly seduce someone there.
Alright. Are you making a hunting roll?
Yes, sir, indeed I am.
Alright. Then that will be your typical hunting roll. I'm going to say this is going to be a difficulty 5 in this place because it is a little hard to find an alone spot.
Difficulty 5. Ooh.
Normally the domain's difficulty 4, but this particular place doesn't have very much in the way of secret spots.
Out of curiosity, does beauty, beauty merit account into any seduction rolls?
I would say it does because a lot of the immediacy is going to be upon your looks. So yes.
Okay.
Ooh. Hot damn.
I did it. Acquired.
You dance. You sway. You get his name. He exchanges, and you give him yours, and you have successfully seduced him. And even found a little quiet spot where you can sit down and feed. It might be a little bit rushed, but you should be done by the time anybody comes back to see if anyone else is in this single stall restroom.
Wonderful. Once I'm done with my meal, I go ahead and I pass him the number I use for collecting my hair. I give him a brush, a gentle stroke on his face, and hold his chin. If you want to speak to me again, give me a call. I'll see if I can make time for you, sweetheart.
All right, and so you have successfully given this person your number, and have successfully fed on them as well. You're just taking the one?
I am indeed. And
you could just kill him.
No. We just had a conversation about subtlety.
Who cares about subtlety?
I care because I'm indignant about it now. And speaking of subtlety, Once I exit the restroom, alone this time, I'm sure the bartender noticed. I make eye contact with him, activate awe, and flip my hair at him. You missed out.
He watches, and his eyes kind of locked on you, with the awe kind of popped. You notice that other eyes start to watch you too.
Apparently I got to play the long game here. So I will.
Which
I'm going
does
to
leave
look.
Alistair and Jacques at the bar for a moment.
Yeah, I'll be chatting with him, but I'm also looking for eyes that are not locked onto her.
Just about every gentleman in the house, and even some of the ladies are kind of got their eyes locked on her.
Okay.
She is rather hard to miss.
Yes. I wish I could give you a better recommendation, at least off at 6th Street, but I think we are in the same kind of situation.
Well, the club or the bar is not necessarily our gig. He kind
Not
of
for
takes a
what
sip
I
of a
want.
drink.
Yeah, not for what I want.
What are you looking for?
Well, that's the $1,000,000 question.
Is it worth $1 million to you?
Well, that's all relative, but I've been told I'm too chatty. Good. So, I better leave some.
Yeah. Well,
But yes, LaCroix. It couldn't be.
couldn't be what? The beverage?
Well, that would be too obvious, and
I get that a lot.
yeah, I'd imagine so. I do happen to know someone else that
Never did
has
like
the
the
name.
beverage. It's always not enough flavor.
Well, who likes sparkling water or seltzer water anyway?
People who have weirder tastes than I do.
Hmm.
So if this is not necessarily your scene, Mr. Knight, why are you here?
Hmm. He didn't hear what I said earlier, did he?
What did you say earlier? I didn't hear you, I don't think.
Oh, I said, no, it's not the drink, but I do know someone else with that name.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that, no.
Uh,
I will pretend that he did not hear you say that.
Well, I have friends and colleagues that need a new watering hole.
And they would enjoy this sort of space?
I think so.
Do they go to clubs often? Because you're here
I
alone
am,
and you're not here with them, so...
I am a bit of an old soul that I'm a bit odd odds at some of the things. I'm more comfortable around books. So this is all new to me, and I'm trying to get my way through it. It's been fun. A novel experience.
An old soul.
Yeah.
Almost make it sound like you have been alive for decades.
No. I'm too pretty to be alive for decades.
I was going to say, you look very, very good for a man who is in his 80s.
Oh. It's gnawing on me. I do know someone else named LaCroix.
Do you?
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Same kind of accent.
Someone I might know? A
Don't
cousin
know.
from another land, maybe? I don't know. You said same accent.
Yes.
Perhaps they are from Paris, much like me.
It could be possible, but what are the chances? If you, I hate to have a conversation and run, but, I think I'm going to look around and maybe, try to find some fun for the evening. You have a wonderful drink, de LaCroix. I hope you find what you're looking for.
I hope you find what you're looking for. Because it certainly is not here.
All things are just a means to an end. I just have to figure that out.
Is that all you think of this place?
Well,
A means
as
to
I
an
said,
end.
at that moment. But I'm just going to enjoy myself. I haven't cut loose in a long time.
Like you said, old soul.
That I am. And I'll raise my beer and I'm going to walk off and try to find someone to eat.
he gives you a sort of raise of the glass too, and goes to sip his drink and goes back to minding his own business.
Lupe is gonna watch him for a moment. Jacques, as it were. She's gonna come up to Alistair shortly after their conversation and just kind of like get close to him and whisper. Did you happen to catch who that was?
Yes, his name was Jacques LaCroix.
Lacroix?
Yes, it was bothering me. It couldn't be. The world
And
would be
he's-
too small.
And he speaks like Fred?
Well, with a name like LaCroix, I imagine they mostly would speak like French.
No. He was foreigner. And there's only one other foreigner I know.
It couldn't be, though. That would be way too convenient. It'd be like the plot of a bad movie.
I'm just saying, I think there's another LaCroix we know that would also like to know. That a LaCroix is in our, well, your neighborhood.
That does cross my mind. But, I think first I need to find some fun for the night.
Would you like some help?
I will never turn down help, if you
Okay.
wish.
I will on one condition.
And that would be...
Help me find a place to stay for the night. Well, day.
I think this could be arranged.
Then it's settled. I will go ahead and lead a roll for Alistair to find some food.
Alistair would have to lead his own role, and you assist.
Okay. I will assist.
So, Alistair, how are you going about this? Are you seducing someone? Are you chatting them up, about the usual way? Because you're not in the midst of university people.
I'm just chatting people up. Maybe like when we get to like, oh well, what do you do for a living? And I can gush about being a little bit of a professor and try to show off and just try to find someone interesting.
And what is your typical role?
Subterfuge manipulation.
Okay, yeah, that'll work perfectly fine here. And Lupe can assist. Difficulty 5.
Subterfuge manipulation +1.
Yep.
Don't fuck me dice.
Gotta reload those too. Or, unless
you can want to succeed at another cost.
Oh god. Devil's advocate always. Okay, what's the cost? Oh, we gotta hear it. I don't like your smile.
You're going to be followed to your next destination.
I told you it's gonna make for a good story, and I'm hungry.
All right. You're able to chat somebody up, find a relatively private spot to have this conversation. It seems like the only real sort of private and sort of low volume sort of spaces tend to be around the restrooms area. And so one could opt to go into the bathrooms and of course make their feed there, as much as Lupe has found out. But the chatting goes on fairly well, and eventually you get to the point where you're walking out to your cars and kind of going to go say the good nights for the evening, and you sink your teeth in and you get the feed that you were looking for. And we'll roll resonances for you both here in a moment. But you are pretty satisfied with the way the night's going so far. It's been a pretty good feed. You met somebody new who you didn't expect to meet. And all in all, it's been a pretty good night so far.
Yeah. Nothing possibly could go wrong. I definitely didn't make a deal with the devil to get hungry. I will just kind of go and walk up, throw my arm like up and like kind of like elbow nudge Lupe and say, "All right, let's find some place for you then. What are you looking for? Is it do you have any requirements?"
Oh, the usual. Somewhere dark and secure enough. It's appreciated, Senior Knight. I am going to be honest. We got off on the wrong foot, you and I. But I want to make it clear. I don't intend to be an enemy to you. Or to anyone in the coterie.
Well, that's good. Well, as you said, we didn't get off on the wrong foot, but you would not be the first person that tried to pass something off. You definitely won't be the last. That is just a little matter. it's not even worth mentioning anymore, to be honest. We are fine. We can, how do they say, we can work on building a new bridge and see where it goes.
If you're interested, I'd be very much interested in trying to build up this little establishment together. The bartender wasn't really willing to work with me, but given some time and a little bit of jealousy game.
Well, there are ways that we can deal with that, but what did you think of the place, of the atmosphere, the music? Do you think we could find better, or?
I think this is a good starting point. It might take some work, really, to make it something worthwhile, but as far as being able to bring in a specific clientele, somewhere that everyone in the crew can, browse, enjoy, rest,
Yeah.
and maybe even invite others in a neutral ground.
I think so. And while we're walking, I'm going to be racking and talking. I'm going to rack my brain. Would I know a good place that we can put Luca? Or I literally looked at lethality and said Luca like a jackass. Not even the right chronicle, not the right character. It's close enough to Lupe.
Mr.
I am
von
just-
Brunhild is invading.
On your
I don't know where.
knees, I shall have you beg for forgiveness.
Oh, don't tempt me.
Jesus. Come on.
You're cute lethality, but you're not my type, so.
Moving along.
You think you have a choice?
Moving along.
Would I know of a place that we could put up Miss Lupe?
Lupe? You would know of the Coterie House. That's certainly an option.
Has she stayed there yet?
I don't think so. She's been hotel hopping. So far, she hasn't stayed there yet. No.
But I am going to specify. I'm looking for somewhere I can now pronounce in New Haven.
If you're looking for somewhere for her to have specifically, then that would be more of a if you're just are you just asking about what you know right now?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, if
What
I
you
know
know?
any place off the cuff.
That would
If
be
not, then we'll have to search.
intelligence. Intelligence. Let's see. Intelligence and I'm just
Maybe
saying
academics, like I was reading, like, ads in the paper and remember it, or...
Yeah, I'd say an intelligence academics works because that's recalling memory of different houses on the streets that you might be aware of them having this or that that might be available to you.
Holy shit, I can actually make a roll.
Oh my god, it's 6.
Oh, you did it.
I done did it.
You would know of several places that have been listed for sale that for one reason or another, a couple of them are just they seem to have been hard movers. They're not particularly good neighborhoods. They're not particularly nice. They're kind of run down. They look like they've been pretty hard sells. It's but if you're looking for some place that's going to have a kindred's interests at heart, you're looking for something that's probably going to mean that she doesn't have to be on the books. And so some of the things that you know about are
I have an idea.
Oh, what's your idea?
I was looking to eventually expand the store as well. Would I know of any storefronts that we could set up a dead man's closet somewhere that she could just go to stay, or a false floor somewhere, or
And thinking about the places that come across in your domain, even that there is a place that's sort of abandoned, but nobody's really claimed it. Nobody really wants to claim it. It seems. It's a it's a it is a house, but nobody seems to live there. It's this little place with a little front yard that's just kind of smack in the middle of everything that seems to make everything else look like it's an eyesore. It's kind of one of those somebody's preventing it from getting destroyed because it's historical question mark.
Baron Kane.
perfect. How much does it cost?
You wouldn't see a list price on the outside of the lawn, but it's not for sale. Nobody's. It's just one of those things that nobody lives at, but nobody seems to want to bother with it. Much like the place that you own.
I will try to track down the things later because I actually want this place. And I have planned. But I will show this abandoned place to Lupe, and say it for the time being. This might work. I have planned, but what do you think?
I think if this is a place that I may reside at my convenience, then whatever plan you have, I will back.
Excellent. What time of the night is it?
It's getting somewhere around midnight now. Probably 1 o'clock, something like that.
Do I want to just deal with the real estate agent, or should I go to Mr. Ball? Because he probably would know.
It's Mr. Ball.
I'm not saying it's a lot.
I know, but I like the idea that he does.
Oh, okay.
You think to yourself so much, so I imagine Alistair does the same.
Okay, yeah, it could be just a quirk. Okay, it's canon. Let's do it.
Who is Mr. Ball? I remember Yvette also mentioned Mr. Ball.
You know what? That settles it. Let us go and see let me see if I can get the meeting. And I will go through the lengthy process of phone tag.
Mr. Ball sadly is not available tonight.
Does he have a message service?
The person who at the end of the line tells you that they can have him call you back.
Julia.
Just tell him that Mr. Knight called. This is not a life or death.
Understood. And they hang up.
Kiki. Very well.
Well, it looks like that's not going to happen. But maybe I'll when we get back to the house. Do you want to try to stay here tonight, or you probably could stay at the eatery?
I think I am good to stay here for the time being. For the rest of the night, I probably should get some boards up.
Yes. Well, I think this is where we part ways for the night then. It was a pleasure. It's an enjoyable night.
Si, senor. And Lupe puts out her hand.
I would take it.
I look forward to doing business with you.
Yes. I'm sure that we can accomplish some fairly amusing and lucrative things.
Hopefully.
I'll give a nod and I'll start walking back to my car.
Alright. Alistair starts walking back to the car. Lupe, you're setting up to spend the rest of the night here? The rest of the day, too?
See, I'm going to be quite busy trying to make this a little more sunproof. I know going into the future this will be a place I return to, and it shall be built up as necessary. But for now, it needs to be convenient for the moment, for the day sleep. And so, out of the loose floorboards I happen to find around the building, inside of it, and whatnot, I get to just some loose construction based off of the materials I happen to have in my van.
And when you go back to unload the materials from your van, you do see Mr. LaCroix there.
Oh my, oh my. Hola, senor.
Good evening.
It's a surprise to see you here.
You did not make yourself hard to follow.
I didn't expect a follow-on. Now, I know I'm quite entrancing, but I'll have you know it's a little rude to be stalking a lady.
And it's a little rude to be so upfront with different people, isn't it?
There are people who say yes and people who say no. But that's none of your business. So, what is business, though, I think should be out in the clear. Why are you here?
Because I think you have a need to be fulfilled. And I could certainly help you in doing so. However, I do want something in return.
It really depends.
Obviously, I know that this is a place that you are considering staying for the day. Otherwise, you would not have boards in the back of your van, would you not?
I keep them spare in case I want to do some arts and crafts.
Out of plywood. Particle
Carpentry.
board. That would make shitty crafts. No, if you want true woodworking, you get something like oak or maple.
Discerning eye.
I am a very discerning man.
So, senor, what is it that you think I am in need of? And what is it do you think you want?
What I want? Just eyes. Eyes and ears. That is all. In return, I will make sure that you never have to go through this. He looks over to the house ever again. You are new to the city. It is obvious on your face.
See, and so you understand that I try not to tread on too many people's toes.
Exactly.
Who? Eyes and ears on who? On what?
Just about your observations, different things. That is all.
And are you in alliance with Berenkane?
Berenkei and I are on speaking terms, yes.
She thinks about it. Weighing the options is pretty good. She looks at her van, lacking, sparse, the struggles of having to go day to day without a shower, without a shelter, or secure one at least. Her feeding type is less a matter of what is convenient and more a matter of necessity. It always has been. Stay the day at someone else's house while they're off to work after a pleasant night. They return home late. I've already left with the night break. But this, desperately trying to grasp at threads, running motel to motel. She looks at this other French LaCroix. Eyes and ears. But she won't betray the home she already has. She smiles. Finally, at shock. All right, senor. I'll take the opportunity. How will it be, your eyes and ears? She puts out her hand.
And he takes hers to shake it. Right. Then I think we can do better than this dusty old thing. And he leads you over to, and he kind of gestures over towards his car, which is kind of parked down half a block.
Okay. One moment. I just got to make sure that the rest of my friends know where I'm at. I don't want them to miss me.
That is fine. Tell whomever you wish.
And she's gonna message Pax, and she's gonna message Yvette. She's gonna message them specifically. Met another Frenchie. Gonna stay with him for the day. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Lupe is off to find a place to rest her head. Is there anything else that the other members of the coterie are going to do before this night closes?
Yes, actually.
Hmm. What is it you doing, Miss La Muerta? And where?
Upon leaving the residence of Baron Kane, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure likely returning to the coterie house to figure out what might happen next.
Mm-hmm.
La Muerta will take her leave to handle some personal business.
Okay.
But she's going to leave behind something.
Okay.
It's a case. What? And it's specifically left on the dining table where Yvette would definitely see it.
Okay.
And it has her name on it, written on a piece of paper in quite nice cursive, all things considered.
All right. And you're off to take care of some personal business. This case left with your name on a piece of paper sitting on the table where you're vet. When you do arrive, you do see that it's left there.
I approach it, looking at the letter of cursive writing. I inspect the container, and if nothing seems particularly awry,
Nothing odd about it. You would be able to tell that it is a gun case. Small. Wouldn't hold anything more than, say, a handgun.
she takes a moment to use her formative training, grabbing hold of the knife that is attached to the back of her hip, checking along the edges for anything that may be, well, let's simply end up saying that her paranoia of random cases does end up concerning her before she takes a moment to open it.
And inside, what Yvette would find is 2 layers of foam. In the first layer, embedded in the first layer of foam, is a handgun. And if she were to lift it, underneath, she would see a dozen magazines of ammunition loaded.
I take out one of the bullets. I take a look at the pistol itself. Curiosity. I inspect the package.
Well, just so that you don't have to adjudicate, Coffee. What's Yvette's dots and firearms?
Substantive.
Yeah,
She has
she's
3
pretty.
dots.
3 dots. Yeah, 3 dots. Then you would know exactly. Just looking at it, you would know exactly what this is. It's one of the most ubiquitous handgun models ever made. Specifically, this is a Glock 18. It is a fully auto select fire Glock variant, designed in the 80s. And the round, one of the rounds that you check they are basic 9mm parabellum rounds like you would expect. It's a Glock 18. And any further examination would tell that it's never been fired. There's no residue, nothing.
She begins to dismantle the piece, as though inspecting its pieces to try and maybe prepare it using the oils and other such things from her original case in order to prepare it. Though she does take her time to admire such a thing. Such a small thing. America, you are fascinating. After assembling, it takes a moment. Proceeds to remove her business phone and sets off a text. Will not be received until or responded to till tomorrow morning. But she reminds herself of what the Don requested to meet and find out what it is that is causing these disturbances. The task placed upon Pax. She prepares for the meeting. Closes it, looking at this new firearm. Maybe a small part of her smiles. As she is alone at this moment, she is allowed to be amused. And then she receives a text. She checks it. Perhaps she was stunned at how fast the senator would respond, realizing that the number is from Mademoiselle Flores. And she reads it. And her face becomes soured. And then she looks into her other hand, still holding on to the Glock 18. She looks at one message and the other. Perhaps it's a paranoia, but it seems somebody wants this man dead. And this is the worry Yvette Lacroix. Another Frenchie. Very few of us out here. And why she would end up deciding to tell Yvette about it. Well, there's only one individual worth mentioning as far as French that is not Mademoiselle Lacroix. There is Monsieur Lacroix. Somebody wanting me to put a bullet in him. Suddenly now all those magazines make all the more sense. It might take a bit more than that to put down that old dog.
I believe that is where we are going to end the session for tonight. Thank you guys so much for playing.
Fuck, that was cool. Everything about this session was cool.
I hope you saw what I did there, Derek.
We'll discuss after the fact.
Mm-mm.
Don't want to spoil for the
thought-
audience.
No, of course not.
Very true. Very true.
I thought you were getting your Naruto on for a second.
But yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you very much to Lethality Complex for doing the wonderful job of playing Liv, the deadly Toreador.
Yes. Olivia Liv De Angelis, formerly of Jackson, now La Muerta of Austin.
Yep. Wonderfully done, wonderfully done. Thank you guys so much for also in the audience for coming by. You guys are fantastic. Snitches get stitches. That's, you know, Don't snitch is definitely a chronicle tenant that we have in this particular coterie. So definitely, that's definitely something that we'll have to take into consideration going forward, given how many loyalties and things are going on. But yeah, that's the session for tonight. So thank you guys. And now we're going to be moving on to the end of session stuff. Which, how many of you, or who of you, recovered willpower today by doing the desire or ambition? You did? Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I did the thing.
You did the thing. Hell yeah.
I didn't spend any willpower, but I recovered it.
Good.
I struck work with Baron Kane. He wants rent. He's gonna get it.
Yep. Gotta pay rent. Yep. If you're gonna live in the domain, you gotta pay rent.
I still don't know what that means. That's so ambiguous, but sure.
For Kindred, it is ambiguous because it could mean anything.
Yep.
But you gotta do your part somehow, so. That's how Baron Kane gets away with it. It's your way of paying rent. Anybody else recover willpower? Or no?
I did. Well, Lamont did.
Alright, perfect. Well, next we move on to... I don't think we have any strains, do we? I don't think we do, so we're going to move on from there. Next is XP. So, the way that we do things is very similar to the way that Derek does in his vampire games, is that everybody gets one by showing up at the table. Thank you, Cell, so much for the gift sub to Thantos. Thank you, guys. We're going to get that poll set up here for the audience favorite, so that you guys can have a sway in how these characters progress. But the other bits of experience are deliberated by my cast as to who moved the plot the furthest, who had our best scene, and who had our best line. So, plot mover.
Can I take it by definition of it was Lupe's plot to meet the Baron, it was Lupe's plot to
Sounds good to me.
shove Alistair into getting started with everything that he wants to get started with?
Yeah. No, I'd say that's fair enough. I mean, I will say that like the Baron visit was going to happen anyway, on La Muerta's instance, but for everything else, I'm 100% in agreement. Like she contributed to everything major tonight, with the single marked exception of the end.
The shaker and the mover.
Well, she'll be moving and shaking.
Hey,
She'll be doing all kinds of gyrating.
Oh my.
Yeah, that was it. That was where my brain went.
Also, just so that we're like moving things along here, like I was planning on staying late tonight for stuff if everybody decided that they wanted to do a hype train. So long stream equals long if you guys want a hype train, but otherwise I'm probably gonna go to bed after this. But so just wanted to get that out of the way because I did announce that on Discord. But
you want me to stay longer? Pay me. Respect the hustle.
But is that unanimous that Lupe had the plot mover then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Hell yeah.
Who had her best scene?
Ooh. I really liked a lot of the subtlety scenes between La Muerta and Yvette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't argue that. those two fuckers getting all Machiavellian on each other. And little.
But they're not
Well, the
even
thing is,
Machiavellian characters.
Yeah,
Yvette.
Liv
Nope.
hasn't done anything Machiavellian.
That's the only thing I can describe you two as. You didn't yet.
Derek and I,
Yes.
we are Machiavellian. But
Yes.
as far as Yvette and Lamuerta
Oh, I'm not talking about the characters.
You know what? Fair enough. Can't even deny that. Fair enough.
Valid response.
I would say yeah. I couldn't pick between the two though.
I am the guest, so it goes to Yvette. Because as I have discussed with Coffee, La Muerta has a very distinct thing that she's working towards in terms of quote unquote experience, and she gets there because I'm a guest. She gets there when Coffee decides.
Yeah.
When she does,
I'm
gonna hit the fucking deck.
Oh yeah.
I'm good giving that to Yvette. Yeah,
Okay.
take it away.
Thank you
Yay.
for the follow. Malacraw? I think I'm spelling that right.
Malacraw.
Malacraw. Okay, so who had our best line?
There was a lot
Yvette.
of good lines tonight.
Yvette. Has anyone told you that you would make a good Malkavian? Because you sound like you're out of your mind.
You sound
Yeah,
like you
that was
lost your
pretty
mind.
good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, and if I was if I was in the running, I think my next line would be what I would pick. The only thing I would pick over that is that it's like the line between a Toreador and a Malkavian is the same malaise that the genius possess and the insane lament.
I still have to end up laughing at the whole Alistair. I realize I've never actually been shot. Yvette down the hallway. There's still time.
Yep.
And NPC Pax is like, I could show you right now.
No, yeah, happily show you. You want to get a shot? By the means.
It's just casually threatening Alistair.
Oh, it's a form of greeting.
It's a Pax thing. I figured it was in
character
character.
before.
I figured it was
Alistair is
in
like-
character for her.
Alistair is the little brother of the coterie, and now
really is.
Alistair has a little sister added.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
that's
Pax
kind
that
of their
wants to
relationship.
Oh, that's the other thing that kind of got me was like, yeah, so you're stuck with a lick now, huh? That's gonna be fun. Like Lupe's excitement and the thing of being young and Liv here being like undoubtedly the oldest in the coterie circle, not
Right.
in the coterie, in the coterie circle.
She was embraced in her 20s-ish, and she's lived an additional 25 years after that.
26 years.
26. Yeah, because
Yeah,
she was
she's in
embraced
her
in
50s.
99. She's in her 50s.
She's in her 50s.
Live forever stuck in Y2K.
Yeah,
Y2K
that's what she
Mulga.
does. One of the many reasons why she dresses like she's from the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And can also
God.
do parkour like she's from the Matrix.
Oh, yeah. She's...
How much do clothes cost in the Matrix?
Lupe, you also get the audience favorite, but who had the best line?
Yvette.
Yvette.
But
Yeah,
there's
we'll go with Yvette.
multiple lines I could give it for.
Yvette. Yep.
I honestly
Yeah.
think though that everybody had funny moments tonight though.
Oh,
Yes.
just that one.
Funny
I'm
and
also-
poignant, and it was just
I'm
a good
also
show.
going to make it a point to take my third aunt and herd.
Yes, Queen.
So we have that, and so that's
Yes, because you did crit on a hunting roll today. I gave you that as a success.
I still need to pay for it, but
Well, you pay the 3 experience, yeah.
The entire 3 experience. It's gonna cost you to do that.
Yep.
hey.
But it's the in-character validation is there. You just need to buy it.
Yeah, and you literally gained everything you needed to that dot. So, like this session. So.
So we're going phlegmatic and sanguine then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because you get to pick 2 now. Yeah.
Yep. You would get to pick 2.
Oh, yeah, we need to resolve those resonances. Did we ever do that?
We did not.
Presence dominate aspects.
Can we apply
yeah.
them
For the ones for Alistair and for Lupe.
Mm-hmm.
Alistair.
We also never did one for Lamueta either.
Oh, well.
Oh shit.
I mean, you're a guest. It kind of mechanically matters more for my PCs.
No, it doesn't particularly matter.
So first one is strength. So Alistair. Oh,
Oh.
that's a strength 10.
Yep. So you need to
So
roll
that's-
again.
Roll one more. Oh, the second one is the resonance type, which I don't have my chart for. Where's the chart?
The chart, 5 is melancholic.
Melancholic. Okay.
But you need to roll another
For
another
clot?
d10 to see if the clot.
Alistair fed
It
on
is-
someone sad. They're there
9 or
drunk as
10.
fuck and just depressed.
Nope, it's just a
Intense.
So
Yep.
say just intense rather. So
Yep.
that is
Intense
plus
melancholic. They are very sad. They have.
They're
That
like,
is
They have.
plus
girlfriend
one.
left me.
Any discipline roll that you make involving obfuscate or fortitude.
If you
'Cause
have
those
either
are
of
the
those.
two.
Yep.
Those are the two melancholic
Resonances.
disciplines.
So it's very strong. They're very sad. They're deep depressed.
Their girlfriend left them. They're switching to men.
For for Lupe, intensity is a 5. It's barely even there.
I need to start building herd.
It tastes faintly of adrenaline and
Faintly, very faintly, like hardly even there, kind of faintly. Like
They were just dancing.
They exercised
dancing.
today.
yeah, they
That's
were
what they did.
dancing at the
That's
club. That's what they did. Not something that they do very often, so they're not swimming in it, but they occasionally get out. But yeah, that's that.
All right. I have experience expenditure.
Ooh, what you be spending on?
I'm not gonna spend anything with the implication of the other LaCroix. I'm going to spend some experience on the renovation of that house. I know what was said. I know what was done.
But it's the effort that that Lupe would be putting in anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
What would be the size of that particular haven? That building?
haven is a 1 dot. It's barely even a livable space.
Okay.
There's
I will
only-
take it.
Well, it may be a bigger house, but there's only X amount of space that is actually sunproof and havenable. So that's the basement. That's barely even a basement.
Okay. Lupe is going to be working
It's
on
more of a
that.
crawl space.
Yeah, Lupe is going to be working on that over time. But
Yeah, if you wanted
That
to
is gonna-
sunproof the whole house, it would be a feat. But the crawl space is definitely sunproof.
okay, so I'm adding that in, and then second thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I want to invest in some coterie stuff.
Okay.
Or haven stuff. I know nothing about the domain thus far, but considering there's a hot girl that frequents the pig pub,
The blind pig.
the blind pig pub, I want to improve the domain chaste for that. Is that something that can be done between
The
Lupe
chase?
Lupe being there and Alistair deciding he's going to start bringing in his students there?
The chase right now is a 4 difficulty. So you already have really good hunting as far as the difficulty level is. Now, if you wanted to increase that to that would require like just the 2 of you bringing in things. Like that could start things, but it wouldn't get you to 4 dots for chase.
Okay.
But if you wanted to, for instance, start, kind of a rumor mill, then lane is a possibility. Or if you wanted to increase the security of the domain by tapping into different things, like, I don't know, have a police contact or things like that, then you could increase your portal on for the defenses of the domain. But
Okay.
Chase right now, this neighborhood is pretty well stocked, and it's about as stocked as it can get.
Okay.
Without like significant like investment otherwise in character.
Not significant investment is going to come at the expense of the whole coterie putting towards this.
Yep, that would mean like a big sort of touristy draw sort of thing. That's the level that you're looking at with 4 dots.
Okay. To
kind of give it into perspective, you're kind of sitting on a really decent neighborhood with plenty of people, big families, they're tightly knit, so there's not very big like yard space. It's kind of a middle of town sort of a residential block that has a few things on the outskirts of it that are more business oriented. So people have a very walkable space, which is rare in Austin, but it's a very walkable neighborhood. And so you have plenty of people who live here, and plenty of people who shop here, and plenty of people who are entertained here, and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So that's where you're at now. So a tourist draw to this section of the city would be where a 4-dot chase starts.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So
give you an idea what it is and what you're looking for when it comes to in character.
Yeah,
okay.
It's why like 5-dot chases are like things like central business districts and
sky rises and
entertainment districts.
Chase 5 is like downtown Austin.
Okay, so if I wanted to make
Street.
if Alistair and I and Lupe wanted to make this other haven like an actual second location for his antique business, or even just like a pawn shop or something, then what that's going to imply is some resources investment and obviously like in character, like time investment of the two trying to rebuild it.
Adding another source of income by moving the antique shop into the domain, yes, that would be a resources get for the whole coterie. That's about it.
But opening up a second location is a no.
Opening up a second location is, like I said, a resources thing. It's not a chase thing.
Okay, well, no, I wasn't asking about it as a chase thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, it would be a resources thing.
I was talking about building it up as like 2 potential avenues, coterie resources, and a secondary haven for Lupe. Up under the floorboards again.
Right, yeah, that would count as a second 1-dot haven. You're snoring again.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yep, that would count as if you're doing like floorboards underneath a shop. That's another second 1-dot haven.
Under the floorboard.
But I'm with the old house that we found today, and restoring that so it's a second location.
That's one thing I wanted to look into. That's why I wanted to go back to the haven and either talk to Mr. Ball eventually or get in touch with a real estate agent.
So right now, like I said, that place is sunproof in one spot and one spot only.
Yeah.
Building it up, yes, you can spend the time in character, boarding up windows, sunproofing everything. That will, ultimately, be the sunproofing of the whole house. Once you've done that, then it can be upgraded to a 2-dot, because it does have kind of that big single-family home space. It's right now the only livable space for you is a small crawl space.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
But it can
you
be
finally
upgraded
answered
to
my...
it. Yeah, it can be upgraded to a 2 dot, but that's it. That's the size of it.
Okay, you finally answered my question. I was like, what does it take to get it upgraded?
Okay. That
Sorry.
That was a roundabout way. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm brain does not always function all the time.
It's okay. I was miscommunicating, I guess, myself. All right, then yeah, I guess that's kind of what I'm looking for is
Okay.
just a place Lupe can go and shower once a week.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to set up locations, like I said.
Yeah.
Yep. The maximum size for this haven is 2 dots. Right now, it's only livable in 1.
Okay, and to Alistair, at some point, we gotta mesmerize that one dude and get the bar underway.
Yeah, I want to see if I can get the kids' interest first. Then we can worry about acquisitions.
He says the kids.
Yes.
As if college students are all children.
They're overgrown children.
Lupe just squints at us.
18 plus. Yep.
If you're not 18, then you're 12.
If you're not 18, then 12. Goddamn.
Alright.
Anyway, thank you guys
Cool.
so much. And I apologize for me being half a thick head.
We love you.
I love
You're
you
the
too.
best.
I try.
You're great ST.
I try. I really do. But that does it for us here in Austin. So, we have a couple of streamers who do a couple of things on the internets. Mr. Fat Guy, what you do?
Right now I am streaming sporadically, but coming the first of the year, I'm going to be doing a 3-day schedule of Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I might even start trying to paint minis on stream.
Ooh.
If
Inspired
I can
much?
figure out how to do that.
All he needs is a webcam overhead. Yeah.
I have plans for maybe being able to acquire one.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's down the road.
Nice.
We, as always, once a month, we usually will have a killer race, which we've had people come and go and drop out. Lately, we have had the great lethality and macabre Derek join us.
I can only imagine. Gavin, did you win the last one? Or no?
Both. Derek won.
Ah.
Playing the Cenobite.
Hey, Lamau.
Playing Pinhead.
Love
My
it.
box.
Love
Now
it.
that is a feat.
You
Because
opened
Pinhead
it.
is not an easy killer to play.
I like watching his Cenobite plays. I'm not a Dead by Daylight. I'm not a Dead by Daylight watcher, but I'll walk Derek.
Mostly because it comes down to my box.
My box.
My box.
My box.
Not your box. My box.
Not your box, just my box.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Somebody tries to open it. Oh, that's a hooking.
Yep. Mhm.
That's the hooking.
That's a hooking.
You touch
Well,
my box.
Occasionally,
That's a hook.
Fat Guy streams, but
Weekend.
Derek, you stream on the regular. What you got coming up soon?
Actually, nothing.
Oh,
That is really weird to say. I have been streaming almost consistently for 2 years straight,
yeah, my
5
dude.
days a week. And I have officially said I'm taking
A vacay.
Thursday, my final stream of the week, off.
Mhm.
There, our typical Sunday game of Vampire the Masquerade, well, we just finished our Chronicle AMA. So we still got to do session 0, but that's happening on Christmas, so we got to end up extending that into the first of the new year. So the first stream that is official is going to be in that regard. However, do stay tuned because let's be real here. I tend to be
Get
a
bored?
creature of habit,
Or get
and I'm
bored.
going to need to stream at some point. I got a few offline commissions that'll keep me busy and all that, but for the most part, I want to end up making sure that I actually take some time
let's be real here. CoffeeCat has been hassling me to finish up playing Pokemon. And apparently, there's one trade he still needs to do, so I gotta end up getting the options open for that.
You and Black Wolf.
Then there's let's see here. Then there's a whole bunch of comic stuff I gotta end up catching up on. Again, there's commission stuff that I gotta do.
Love it.
I got mechs to end up painting. We still got a BattleTech campaign to finish up, which is not looking good for me. I'll end up saying that, but that's well done to these two. Sitting here, Lethality Complex, the fat guy.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's fantastic.
I'm not.
And I still got a whole bunch of other little side gigs because I'm hoping to end up having enough time to be able to do some revamps on the channel. So we'll end up seeing that. So I literally have no plans to stream till the new year.
Nice.
And
Which
this
we are
is,
proud of you
of
for.
course, all assuming that Derek doesn't get restless and he comes to me and goes, right, you, me, sit down, we fight now.
I mean, there's always that possibility, so check out Derek's
Or
Discord for
VTM now,
those.
or whatever else may
Derek,
may end up coming along the way.
definitely check out Derek's Discord, and I always put up the automatic announcement whenever Derek goes live. So if you're on my Discord, just check out the promotions tab. It'll definitely have it'll definitely let you know when Derek is streaming, because I always put that in there for the promotions. I have a bot that does that because he's a good friend of mine. But with that being said, with
Coffee show for yourself.
yes,
Yeah.
I am CoffeeCat Presents. I run this damn show, and I love it. And I am glad that you all are here to witness Austin by Starlight, and when you're here on Thursdays to witness Rebirth, because I am enjoying both games as far as the stories are going, and as far as the characters. Everything about them is a joy to run. And that's
Let
what I
me know
do.
if you need me, by the way.
For
'Cause I am available
for what?
for tomorrow. If you need me, I can make myself available.
I mean,
Well, that's
I
awfully forward.
Oh dear.
I mean,
And we thought Lupe was forward, but lethality, you dog.
I had no plans, but we'll talk. But
That's why I said if you need me.
okay.
No,
Well,
no need to chase things around. But if you find that you are in need of the OG, shall we put it,
yes.
in terms of a particular character or two, then by all means reach out to me and I shall make myself available.
I will. We should talk because something fun might happen. But yeah, that's those are the two games that I run on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I only do the stream 2 nights a week because day job. But definitely keep an eye on the Discord for all of that. I do still take commissions, even though most of the time that they're done off stream. So just if you want any examples of that, just check out the Discord. Everything you need to know is on there. The other place that everything that I do on the internet can be found on is on CoffeeCatPresents.com, because all of my links are there. Portfolio examples, just even a sketchbook, which I haven't updated a lot.
The Boston has a website. Boston has a website.
I have a website, and I put it on my overlay for a reason. It's kind of the dump all place for everything that I do, including all of the playlist for YouTube. So,
I totally asked how much that domain costs you to keep.
Bro, them numbers, they are numbers. But yeah, it's definitely
Yes, if you
something
enjoy
that I
any
do.
of the channel art or need pretty stuff.
Yes, definitely hit me up on Discord, because I have my PMs open to anyone who shares a mutual server with me. So if you want to talk details about a commission, definitely hit me up. But But yeah, that's what I do. And if you're on YouTube and you're watching the VOD, we love you too, even though you can't interact in chat, and I'm sad about it. But definitely hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy this content, because it gives me more reason to post it, even though I do anyway. So, and it just makes me feel good when I see that I have
YouTube on Twitch. No platform loyalty.
No,
I just
see,
like to do
even
the
if they're
things.
watching the VODs or on YouTube, they can still talk to us. Just be very scared if we talk back.
Because it's not a live
We're
YouTube
gonna
chat.
We're gonna reach through the screen.
If you feel so inclined to leave a comment in the comment section, I'm not gonna say no. But yeah, that does it for us here. And
Oh wait, one more point of order, Coffee.
yes.
We have one more person in this chat that might need a shout out.
Oh.
A Spectre Deflector.
Well, Spectre's
Oh.
commissions are open, but they don't stream very
Yeah.
much anymore.
Well,
But
no, they don't
It's true.
stream, but you know, Spectres is a great artist, and it would be a
It's
shame
true.
if they didn't get a plug. And
Yes, shower Spectre and commissions. Do it.
Yes.
Swamp them. I dare you.
Aw, thank
Shower them
you.
in money.
I think
Sure, yeah.
I think your commissions are closed until the new year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is because I'm.
Because you're full up.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
their,
sorry, I spoke out of turn. Then.
their
That was
commissions
my
are
bad.
full up till the new year, but you can always talk
Wait
details.
till after the new year.
Congratulations, Specs.
Wait
You
Uh,
should have a good full book.
Wait
Yeah.
till
Thank you.
after the New year. I then swap
Get-
specs with more commissions. Do it.
Yep.
Do it now.
Get plans in, because you'll never know if you're going to be first in line or not for the new year. So definitely hit them up if you're looking for commissions. They did the work for Lupe. I did the other illustrations for the other characters. So yeah. And we also have the slideshow at the beginning and in the BRB screen that has different examples from all of the artists in this community. So definitely keep an eye out for those, because we love our artists and we love to shill for them. And so, but yeah, that's it from us here in the capital city of Texas. And with that being said, say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Sorry for speaking out of turn, Coffee.
You good?
Good night.
Buenas noches. Be good.
No.
Good night, everyone.
Being good? What's that?